Okay, this is Graham Winterbone on behalf of Hatters Heritage. It's April 24, 2023, and I'm delighted to have Lars Elstrup with me today. Perhaps you can just say hi, Lars.
Hello, I'm Lars Elstrup, now living in Odense, middle of Denmark, and I'm back in Luton for the first time since I left in the summer '91, so that I'm back after 32 years.
Yeah, well, welcome back to Luton. It's really good to see you. It was good to see you the other day and to be able to take you around the stadium. And you're going to the game tonight, I understand.
Yes, I am. I came to Luton on last Thursday it was, and went to the club in the morning, and Gary Sweet was in a meeting actually with 4 other people talking about the new stadium, and when he heard I was there, he came down, abrupted his meeting and came down to meet me. And he asked me how long I was in town, and I said, I don't know, I'll see what the day brings. Do you want to go to the game? He said. Oh, well, yes. All right, Lars, we'll take care of you. So he booked me into a hotel for 4 nights straight away.
Excellent. Good. And you're looking forward to the game tonight?
I am. It is a day. It is game day. They're playing 8 o'clock tonight. And I've been on the pitch during my time, and now I am in the stand as a supporter and a spectator. And I'm looking forward to seeing Kenilworth Road again, feel the atmosphere and meet the supporters, and of course also watching the game and the position that Luton is in now.
Excellent. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, and I'm sure you'll get a good reception at Kenilworth Road this evening. So that would be good. So. Can we talk a bit about your time at Luton and how you came to be there? And
yes, after 2 hard years at Feyenoord in Rotterdam in Holland, I went back to Odense and played there from the summer '88 till August '89. And during that time I got successful, scoring a lot of goals for Odense, and was picked for the Danish national team by Sepp Piontek, a German guy.
Okay, so talking about, you were saying about being on the pitch, how did you find the plastic pitch?
Well, I didn't like it. It is a hard turf, and it is not normal football you can play when you're on grass. The ball bounces differently. Then again, you know the circumstances and you have to adapt. And then you will play the football that is possible on the pitch instead of complaining about how it is. And I used to play indoor football as child a lot, and I liked it a lot. And you just have to adapt and play under the circumstances there are. So I prefer playing on grass.
Do you think it helped Luton Town though, because we played on it all the time and other clubs
I'm
didn't?
Sure it does. It gives a home advantage when you're used to the turf, knows how the ball bounces, and that is an advantage.
Yeah. I thought it probably was. Obviously, we played good football on that pitch, and I think we adapted our game to that, to playing on the pitch.
If we did, second.
Luton adopted their game to.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, I think the goal that stands out for Luton fans that season from you was the goal. 2 goals you scored at Forest, but the first one where you beat Des Walker.
Yes.
Do you remember the goal?
Yes. Des Walker at that time was England full. Is that called fullback?
Centre back.
Centre back. He
Yeah.
was centre back and reckoned as one of the world's best defenders. And Stuart Pearce was playing left back, also in the English national team. And Steve Williams gave a perfect pass in the death. And I just outran Des Walker, also holding a bit back with my right arm, I think, and another defender. And kind of saw him making the choice, now I have a chance to shoot at goal, and he kind of made a tackle, and I saw that and took another dribble and managed to get a free shot on the keeper and went in between his legs, and I scored the goal. So I beat those two on pace with the ball on my feet.
Yeah.
So that was a great experience.
Pace and strength as well, because you held him off, as you say, with your arm, and you know he's quite a strong player. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes also it is the small fraction of time you get when you read the passes correctly that gives you the advantage. Even though he might have been quicker than me, if you make a 100-meter run, then you can overplay quicker players by making the right passes and right movements at the right time. But I was also fast. You need also to be fast.
Yes, you were. So, as a fan, and we love it when somebody scores for your team. How does it feel for you? You as a professional footballer, you score a goal. How does it feel? Is that a silly question? I don't know.
Well, I was on Danish television not long ago, and the reporter there, he asked me about scoring goals, and I said it's not important for me, and it has never been. Michael Laudrup and Brian Laudrup were actually the same. If I have the ball against the keeper and I have a teammate with me and I see what to do now, I'm not thinking I have to score the goal. If there's a 51% chance of my teammate scoring a goal when the situation comes, then I will pass it to Kingsley Black. So there's a bigger chance of scoring, the team getting the goal, than I personally get the goal on my account. I've always been like that. I never thought it was important.
So the win is more important than
The win,
score.
yes.
Yeah.
And against Arsenal at Highbury, we lost 3-2 and I scored 2 goals. Corner kick from David Priest. I scored on a penalty. But when you lose 3-2, you cannot use those goals for anything because there's nothing to celebrate in the dressing room. It's not worth anything, actually.
No, I understand. You mentioned a couple of players there, like David Priest and Kingsley Black, who again are sort of big heroes of mine, of many Luton fans. Who did you enjoy playing with at Luton?
Well,
particularly?
I remember my second season the most. So Ian Dowie, when he got there, he was a target man. I got out on the left winger or right winger, which I'm brought up with. And Ian was strong in the air, and he had running abilities, fighting skills, winning instinct. And Kingsley Black was also a winger and drifting around, good with the ball and dribbling, could keep possession of the ball. So we each had our qualities, and we made it work when at the front. So, for example, if there was a long ball for Ian, I knew I had to go down deep because there was a big possibility that he would flick it on. And then I could just get the ball, and we could move the whole of our team forward and get into an attacking position. So I learned to read that the second season, and yeah, that is the main thing I remember from a partnership.
Yeah, so watching the some of the YouTube videos that are available, you can see Ian Dowie flicking the ball on, and you know he was so good in the air. So yeah, I can understand that.
Also with footballing skills, there was a game against maybe Nottingham. Who was that? A derby or something. Stuart Pearce was in that game, and Ian Dowie received the ball, and he knew where I was, and I was making the deep run, hoping or maybe seeing that Ian could see this, so he put the ball down to the back line, beating Stuart Pearce that was up, putting pressure on him, and I got in a free position and with open space, and Mark Wright, who was the defender, he had to come out of his defensive central position, making space for runs and moves in the box. And Mark Wright came out to me, and I saw, how can I bring the ball into it, because he was covering it good. So I actually thought I would place the ball in between his legs, hoping he would spread them to block my pass. And Kingsley Black came, saw that the space that had been left, and took the other defender by surprise, getting in front of him, and Kingsley scored with his left foot at the near post. And that is the teamwork, the cooperation, that when you have the vision for other players and when to move right, chances will be created, and you will be able to penetrate the opponent's defense, and then the goal looks easy, but it's the teaming and teamwork that makes the goal.
Yeah, it's beautiful to watch teamwork like this.
Yes, and we watched the game. Was that Stuart Pearce and Mark Wright?
Would have been Forest and.
For that Forest also. Mark Wright played for Forest.
Yeah,
was Mark Wright?
Testing my memory now, but yeah, but Stuart Pearce, he was
Forest. Yes, yeah. Maybe
So-
Mark Wright. Yeah, doesn't matter.
I think so.
Oh.
I think so. So you had obviously different managers for those 2 seasons. Ray Harford signed you, and then you had Jimmy Ryan. How did you get on with those 2 guys?
Well, any manager is different from the other and has their way of approaching the game. Not scoring that many goals first season. I didn't speak much to Ray, and when Jim Ryan came in and John Faulkner, they had different attitude towards the approach of the game, and that was more something that I liked. Jim once at a, what is that called, when we meet before the game, team meeting, tactical meeting, he said to me when other players were listening, which I normally didn't like, being criticized or told something, he said to me, Lars, when you are in front of defenders, they often tend to block you before shooting. Try and work on this, he said. This I could take in and work on my personal game. And Jim just said this to me, not giving me an order or blaming me on, but as in a good advice. And this I could take in and appreciate everybody hearing it. So he spoke to me like to other players. And this is something good for me when I'm told it this way. So he was maybe a bit more soft, and I was not so scared of him or intimidated like I could have been of Ray and other trainers in that category, because I'm the soft and gentle one that was a bit scared. Yes.
I understand. I remember Jim Ryan, obviously I remember seeing him play for Luton many times as well. He played for Luton in the 70s, and he was very popular as manager. Do you think if he'd have stayed, because he was sacked and no one really knew why he was sacked, do you think if he'd stayed, do you think he may have stayed in England for another few seasons or something with him?
No, because actually I had made my mind up when I came to Luton that I wanted to go back to Odense 2 years later. Also, when I came back to Odense, I made my mind up that when I finished my 2 year contract as 30-year-old, I would stop my career and stop my football career. And also with former contracts, when I got into a contract, how can I get out of it? And that was just me as a person, the person I am. When we talk about it, why did I want to get out of my contract? And this I found out later in my life, is that I wanted to be boss in my life, not having somebody being my boss. When I cannot have the feeling that I am also boss when I have a boss.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I've owned my own business for a long time, so I'm my own boss, and I can understand where you're coming from, because you're almost owned by the football club, aren't you? And then they can tell you what happens at the end of your contract.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with having a boss and you are a worker in the club, as long as you have that feeling within you that I am boss in my own life, and I get paid by my boss. But I have my freedom, I have my creativity, and I can work without being plundered on or looked down to, but respected for who I am. And that treatment gives you both growth in the positions you're in, and each one we treat each other equal then there's nothing wrong with having a job. On the contrary.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, you need to have respect in both directions. So,
Yes.
So you don't think if Jimmy Ryan had stayed, he could have persuaded you to stay?
I don't think so. No one could.
Okay, it's just an interesting question for me, because none of the supporters wanted him to leave.
Yes,
and
and again, maybe he could. If I could maybe sit down, if we had sat down and talked, who knows what would have happened.
Because obviously then David Pleat came in. Did you meet David Pleat before you left? You never met him? No. Because obviously he was a big manager at Luton.
Big name.
Big name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it's interesting to know. Obviously then you went back to Denmark, but also you had that fantastic time when you actually played in the Euros and you won. Everybody talks about the Danish team were on holiday and then they suddenly got the call. Were you on holiday when you had the call to say come and play?
Yes, I was I was in the summer house near the coast where my parents-in-law got a phone call from the national coach, and I had to go back to the clubhouse and pick up my boots, and then straight away we were late in it with preparations and stuff like that. Just got into training camp maybe 3, 4, 5 days before the first game started against England, and it became a fairy tale. Better written, and it was in real life, better written than Hans Christian Andersen, the famous fairy tale poet from Odense, actually born in Odense.
Oh, okay.
And this became such a big memory of the Danish population, Danish country, and of course those who are interested in football even more.
Yeah.
And this is when I come to Luton and hear and meet club people, I find more heart in a different way when we talk about our club and the club that we love and follow and know history. Whereas in Denmark, traditions are a bit different towards one's club and not so deep-hearted with respect to Danish fans also. So this special event in 1992 is something that have memories of that is within all Danes' hearts.
Do you think you guys were relaxed and it helped you because?
I think that's the secret behind it all. We were relaxed. There were no expectations. We didn't even qualify for the 92 because we came second after Yugoslavia. and there was civil war in Yugoslavia, and UEFA excluded Yugoslavia, so that's why we went. And we came with no expectations and with a relaxed attitude, and had all to win, nothing to lose. This is a major factor in it, I think.
And you scored as well. You came on a couple of games and you scored.
Yes, I came on in the third group match against France. Michel Platini was coach. France hadn't lost 22 games in a row. Eric Cantona up front was Jean-Pierre Papin. He was voted Footballer of the Year. They had Laurent Blanc, former national coach. What was his name? The national coach now. He's a famous player. Not Marc Desailly. Something. Deschamps.
Deschamps.
Yeah.
Deschamps.
And strong defenders. And I came on in the second half and I scored the winning goal that put us through to the semi-finals. Before that we played Sweden, home team. Always difficult to meet a home team. And before that England with their history. In the semi-finals we met Holland with Ruud Gullit, voted European Player of the Year, Marco van Basten, and Frank Rijkaard. All three were playing for AC Milan at that time, winning the European Cup, and also other star players. Met Germany in the final, 3 times World Cup champions, Rudi Völler up front, Hessler, whatever they were called, big World Cup star names, and we were underdogs all the way. And when I came on and scored the winner, that became the first party and celebration days in Denmark. We made it to the semi-finals. No one could believe it.
You were disappointed not to play in the final?
No, I felt I was ready to be in the starting line in the first game against England, the first 4 games in that tournament. And luckily I got on and had my share of the trophy. And in the final I had changed in my mind of being afraid of going onto the pitch. And I was afraid of playing. I didn't want to play that game.
Oh, okay. I understand. It's a shame.
Just, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's covered. I think the main things that I was thinking about. But if you any other sort of of your time at Luton, your memories here, and the crowd, the fans, the players that you play with, that type of thing, and you think that you would like to sort of share, or
yeah. Well, when I feel good, I can perform much better. And when the pressure is off, your talent comes out more natural. You do things instinctively and intuitively. And you can do things that you normally wouldn't do if you're cramped up or tense. And that second season, when we were out on the running track, for example, doing 100, 200 meter and 400 meters run, 400 meter run, I said to myself, I want to win this one because I haven't won any. There's always somebody faster than you, and Ian Dowie was faster. He was in the field, we were 6 players running. And if you run a 400 meter, you know how hard it is, how much you have to time it, and I wanted to beat Ian. So I kept going, and I won the race, and Ian came up to me and said, "Fucking hell, Lars." I went over the commercial board and I puked. So I was willing to get in good shape, because you need to be in good shape. Giving myself. So when you do the training, when you go to the matches, you're in shape, because the match is 90 minutes and you have to play all 90 minutes, so you don't get run over, or you can run over the opponents.
Yes.
To win the game. So Ian saying, fucking hell, Lars, it's a big one. Also, we went to Scotland with Jim Ryan and John Faulkner on training pre-season, and there was a cross from the left, and I was coming this way. Desmo was here covering. I took the ball with my right foot, being left-footed, behind my own leg. Desmo continuing, and the ball was here, and I kicked the ball half wrist, half inside, half wrist, and curled it up in the corner, just like the Nottingham goal, with Alec Chamberlain in goal. No chance. It was just natural, and I'm not thinking about, wow, could I do that? I'm surprised. And Desmo said, well done, Lars. That appreciation from your teammates made me feel good. They could see me, and yes, they could see me. That is the basis of any player. When you go out, that you are seen and recognized for the good you do, and not being blamed by what you cannot do. So those are the small situations what I remember about Luton. Overall, I was scared of going out to a pub. Because what are you going to meet? Are you going to meet hooligans? Are you going to be blamed? Are you going to be looked down at? Will someone hit you, kick you, abuse you? And you come and meet strangers. I don't know them. They know you. They got you. Mm-hmm. If you're that kind of person. Peter Schmeichel might not be the same. You understand the difference between the two personalities, yes. So, if I had to go out, it would be like with Mick Kennedy. Having someone I kind of trust and feel comfortable with, knows the surroundings. And so I was a bit scared of going into town. I don't really have been in Luton, in the central, don't know streets and names, don't know the bottom of Kenilworth Road, where I went as first thing. Now I wanted to see this, and it's ever so nice being able to sit down and relax and watch people. It is good people, there is good food. This is a nice place. This is the heart of Luton for me, getting that feeling back. This I was not able to do in that time.
So is it the fame thing, the sort of being famous was kind of...
Well, being famous means that other people know you and I don't know the ones. That comes with being famous. But I now learn to tackle those who know me, because I also know them by looking at them, hearing them, seeing them speak and move, and they are not dangerous now. They are friends now. It's a massive change from being one to the other.
I understand. So, it's good that you can be relaxed in, this kind of situation where maybe I'm more nervous than you are. Because I think I'm not a professional.
Yes, and we are active. When you say this, being nervous, this is what we are brought up with in our society in Denmark, in England, and in Western world, that we're not allowed to take our time, make mistakes, being unsecure, drop a glass and it splinters. Have I done anything wrong? There is nothing wrong with dropping something or making a mistake, because it's just a glass and we'll just sweep it up. Nothing has happened. But do you look around? Oh, I'm clumsy. I shouldn't have done that. I could have done that. Well, it's just that, and life moves on. We are brought up to be perfect and make no mistakes. So we become nervous, unsecure,
anxious,
and we have to go backwards to find our own little inner child that is 2, 3, 4 years old, curious, sharing and loving. So we feel at ease with ourselves, and there are many ways of doing this in sport.
Okay.
I'm working on this all the time.
Of course, yeah. I mean, things change. I mean, you know, as you get older, I've had the same things. I've had journeys to go on, and as we all do. And as you get older, I'm a little bit older than you. You're still on the journey, however old you are.
Stay kids for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
On the journey all the time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we just finish up on the sort of recording, is there anything you'd like to say, like to maybe to the Luton fans that are likely to listen to this? And I mean, we will obviously edit everything that's been on here, and we'll make a little thing.
Thank you to Luton in 1989 till 1991, and thank you to Luton and Gary Sweet and all of you people that have taken good care of me and welcomed me with open hearts. I appreciate that ever so much.
Well, from my point of view, it's no problem. You're a great player for us. We would have liked to have seen you for longer.
Oh, yes,
That's not a complaint.
yes.
I was just saying, looking back,
understand.
and yeah, you deserve, you know, what you're given, because you get out of life what you put into it, and so yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your time here at Luton. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thank you. And one thing is that Richard Møller-Nielsen, Danish national coach in '92, he said about me, the only thing that is wrong with Lars is that he doesn't know how good he is. That was just spot on. And now I'm getting to know how good I was, and I can see myself and proud of all my times.
Yeah. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Graham.
I really appreciate your time. I appreciate it.